it's hard to envision them even losing a game. That's Reese Davis. Ryan Curley joins us. Dean Leggy, Matt DeBerry. Another edition of Riding Home. Our friends at EkoPoly helping us out this season. It's harder for me to get the shot in here, but this chair is one of many things. We're going to spotlight some other stuff. Listen, Ryan, do you buy what Reese is saying about the Dogs? Do you buy it's hard to envision them even losing a game? They play Tennessee. They play, at Tennessee. They got Kentucky coming out. I mean, help me out here.
You got to buy it a little bit just because you
Okay.
know how good Georgia is, and you look at the schedule ahead, and there's not a single team where you look at that and say, well, I'm just not sure that Georgia is that much better than that team. They should be significantly better than everybody on that 12-game schedule. But is going 15-0 twice sustainable? Is going undefeated 2 years in a row sustainable? Probably not. But yeah, I buy it a little bit. But I cover the team too. I think that they're that good.
Oh, Matt.
Yeah, I think, like he said, the regular season, I don't think they're going to lose a game in the regular season. In fact, they're probably going to be favored against everyone on the regular season right now. And if Georgia played Alabama week 1, I think that Georgia would be favored. Same with Michigan, Ohio State. So I get the quote to some extent. But as far as is it sustainable, I like Kirby's quote when he talks about last year doesn't matter. Nothing about last year's team matters this year. You play the team in front of you, win that game, keep moving on. And if they have that same approach running the table again, there's just no one team in college football to me that stands out as that team is so much better than everyone else. Maybe it's Georgia. I do think Ohio State, Michigan are going to be good, Alabama, but again, they're not on the regular season schedule. And it's hard for me to imagine them losing a game on the regular season as well. We'll see how good Ole Miss is at the end of the year. Tennessee on the road is going to be tough. I don't see South Carolina coming into Athens and winning that game. So I do understand the quote for sure.
Hey, we want to make sure that you're taking advantage of this offer. It's about to go away. Get a month of dog posts right now in your 2023 preview before it runs out. You're also going to get a free shirt from our friends at Red Zone, 20% off any item at their store, on their online store. If you've gotten double dogs, there's a lot of y'all. Take advantage of this now. I will give you a month off right now, but you've got to hit the link down below and sign up. You're gonna run out of time. That's just all there is to it. I'm just such a I don't think it's negative. I think y'all, the big thing for me is I just become so skeptical of sort of they're not going to lose for sure. You just went through a few of those, Matt. I mean, the Rebels. I mean, I don't listen. If you just take it game by game, no, I don't think Georgia will lose. Okay, there's no game on the schedule like, wow, man, they got and these are back to backs, by the way. So the schedule is set up like this. To me, the most challenging game is at Tennessee, but that comes off an Ole Miss game at home. They could certainly goof around with Ole Miss for 3-4 quarters, and at Auburn's not going to be easy. Kentucky will not be easy. Say what you want about Florida. Maybe they get it together. That could be a challenging game for sure. Ole Miss, Tennessee. What am I missing here? Is Georgia that good, Matt, or am I just being sort of overly? Is there too much Munson going on right now? I'm usually not that guy, by the way. Uh-oh, Matt's muted. Oh no, Ryan.
Muted.
Wait, go ahead, Matt.
Testing. Dogpo, sign up. Link down below. Get it now. You're going to run out of time. No, I don't think you're Munsoning it too much. They're going to be really good, like Ryan said. I think if you look at every position group, they got a lot of talent in a lot of areas, a lot of returning talent, a lot of talented young players. Ole Miss has the really good running back. Graham Mertz, like I've said before, Dean, Graham Mertz isn't scaring me. I don't think he's scaring Kirby in that defense much either. Maybe I'm wrong, but I like where Ryan was going with it, though.
Yeah, I mean, look, they can lose easily. They almost lost to Missouri last year, and they were still undefeated 15-0 champions. That game can happen. If we're being real with ourselves, that game, I mean, it's probably more likely than not, right? That they lose a game this year. I mean, how do you come up with real odds for that? But
well, let me just say this real quick. I love them. The peanut audience is gonna, or the peanut gallery is gonna really criticize. Their over under is 11.5. So there's your odds right there.
There you go. I think it's easy to look at them and look at the last 2 years, and then you look at this season and say that they go undefeated. And don't get me wrong, I think that they are going to go 12-0. I do. I just think that they're better. I think that they're disciplined. I think that matters a lot. And they just get it. Each year's exclusive from each other, but you're inheriting all of the knowledge you got from the last 2 years. You're inheriting Cedric Van Pran. Kirby was talking about how you don't inherit the last 2 years. Well, you got Cedric Van Pran. It's not like Carson Beck wasn't around the last year. So they get it. They know how to win. And Kirby was talking about how it's probably around 80% of the team from 21 is not this team. I don't know how accurate that is, but
80?
That's what he was saying. Probably about 80%.
That's not that far. That's not far from being right. Yeah.
But they know how to do it. They really do. There's not an exact blueprint, but there's some makings of it, and they've got the talent.
See, I think there is a blueprint, and let me just show. So, a lot of the stuff that we do on the site is premium stuff, and this is what I'm about to give you right now is an example of the premium stories that we do. One time in 2018 or 19, I can't remember when it was. I think it might have been 19. I was talking to a high up person at Georgia, and year one at Georgia, as Matt's heard this story too many times probably. Year one at Georgia, Kirby listened to everybody, looked at everything, saw everything that was going on. Year two, he had an established way he wanted to do it, and that's the way he wanted to do it, and that was it. And the person's, comment was, he believes there's an exact way to do this. Well, I think he does believe that there's an exact way to do this, Ryan, and he's been doing it ever since. And the results speak for themselves. They played in 6 years for 3 national championships and won 2 of them. They played in 6 years. They played in 5 SEC championship games. So he's doing something right. So that's what I would say. I think there is a way to do it, actually, and I think that. Did he learn it from Nick? Maybe. But so?
No, he's got more than the 2 rings, right? I mean, he's got how many more with Bama? 3? 2?
4. So 11, 12, 15. 3, sorry.
3. Yeah.
No, 9. Excuse me. 9, 11, 12, 15. Yeah, 4.
I mean,
so there is a particular way to do this, by the way, and it's not, to me, it's not the way. Go ahead, Ryan or Matt. It's not the way that Lincoln Riley and them are doing it, in my opinion, because you've got to stop people at some point. It can't be a race to 60 because half the games you're not going to get to 60 in the playoff. None of the games are going to get to at 60 unless Georgia's playing TCU in the national championship game.
Well, I think it goes back to recruiting and building depth, especially on defense and in the line of scrimmage, both sides. He's done that as well as anyone. He's gone out and they got their guys and they evaluate extremely well and they recruit harder than everyone else. They spend more money on it. So that's number one. And when you build a full roster full of guys who are good players, it's not half the roster and then the others are liabilities, right? They are so deep at a lot of positions. And like I was going to mention earlier, he's brought that winning DNA into the program. It's part of the culture. It's practice hard. It's work hard and win and keep doing it and keep everyone accountable and playing to a standard. It's all there, right? All those little themes are there. He has put a winning culture and a winning DNA into this program that only had it. I mean, they had it a little bit in the early 80s. I'll get it. But they had one massive, great player, right?
Exactly.
Everyone's good. Everyone's good at every position. And it doesn't look like this train's slowing down with the class they brought in 23. This class that they're working on right now is really good, 24. We've written written about it. I think this machine is turning and it's not slowing down.
Ryan?
Yeah, tonight, Zia Lug was talking about just how, look, our 2 and 3 deep can play. Like it's not just the starting lineup, and Georgia does play more than just 11 on each side. They rotate a lot of guys. It comes down to the talent, man. They're just so much better than these teams. It's the beginning of winning these ranks. Alabama was always more talented. 2019 LSU, they just had so much talent. It comes down to that. Combine it with, I think Kirby's schedule throughout the day is down to like the minute 8:03. Eat this bagel, whatever it is. You know what I mean?
100%.
That's your blueprint.
100%. I mean, I would say it's probably a brownie, not a bagel.